execution and late game coaching decisions doomed the Chicago Bulls in a game in which they led throughout most of this game against the Cleveland Cavaliers. They ended up losing 128-122. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this. What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into it for today, y'all. And this was a game that was just frustrating down the stretch, not just because the Bulls did lose. They lost the fourth quarter, 24-32, which ended up dooming them in this game, but it was more than just that. Billy Donovan, despite Jalen Smith having one of his best games on the season, he was plus 17, not that plus minus matters, all that much, but he had 18 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 block. And instead of putting Jalen Smith back in the game in the fourth quarter when it was getting tight, he left Nikola Vucevic out there for the final 7 minutes of this game. And this was just something that really hurt the Chicago Bulls. Over the course of this season, one of the things that the Bulls have been really good at doing is allowing the game to come to them, right? Riding the hot hand. That's been something that we talked about coming into the season that we wanted to see Billy Donovan do. And to his credit, he's been doing it more times than not this season. But for some reason in this game, Billy Donovan did not trust the unit that got the Bulls the lead in this game late. And Nikola Vucevic struggled all day today. He had 9 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals in this game. He was 4 of 11. But Jalen Smith, who outplayed Vooch every minute that they was in the game, couldn't get in the game in the final 7 minutes of the fourth quarter. That's on Billy Donovan. I'm not saying that, the refs weren't some questionable ref calls, because there were, but Billy Donovan, for the first time this season, didn't trust the unit that got the players that got the Bulls the lead. And it's really head-scratching in this game of why Billy Donovan didn't go to that. In a game where Buzelis wasn't good in this game at all, Nikola Vucevic wasn't good in this game for the most part of it. He had some moments, but the fact of the matter is that no Jalen Smith in the final 7 minutes of this fourth quarter, of this game specifically, is just that's inexcusable. Inexcusable. And I don't want to harp on that for this whole stream, but it's just really inexcusable that we didn't play Jalen Smith more. Jalen had a total of 2 minutes and 57 seconds in the fourth quarter of this game. Unacceptable. Unacceptable for a player that's been playing as well as he had been in this game. So, that's something that we got to look at. I don't know what happened with Billy. I don't know what he felt he was getting out there with Nikola Vucevic that Jalen Smith wasn't providing. But that decision hurt the Bulls a lot in this game. And, again, I'm somebody who I like to review things honestly. I've given Billy Donovan his flowers and Billy Donovan has looked good. But this was a mad questionable coaching decisions down the stretch of this game that I just don't understand what Billy Donovan was doing here, man. I just don't understand what the thought process was there, especially in a game where Josh Giddey rolled his ankle. He wasn't himself at the end of this game. To not have him out there was crazy. It was crazy. And the Bulls bench really was the story of the game today. The Bulls bench outscored the Bulls starters by far today. We had 58 points off the bench today. 58 points coming off the bench alone today for the Chicago Bulls. Only 18 bench points for the Cleveland Cavaliers. The bench is what got us in this game, man. And to just see the Bulls move away from that was really, really frustrating. Now, like I said, it's not to say that there weren't some foul calls down the stretch of this game that messed up the Bulls' momentum and stuff like that. But for once this season, Billy Donovan, I don't feel really helped this team. But it wasn't just him. Like I said, Buzelis was just trash tonight, objectively. I know there are going to be some people that try to, because Modest is the new Bulls player that people don't like to criticize. Some people don't like to criticize. But to have as many personal fouls as points is unacceptable for Modest Buzelis. It's just unacceptable. He shot the ball 16% from the field today, 0% from three-point range. Modest has become too important to the Bulls' rotation for that to become acceptable for the Chicago Bulls. So Modest Buzelis, he has to be better as well. Isaac Okoro had his best game so far as a Bull, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists in this game. You can tell he really wanted this win. He was 71% from the field, only taking 7 shots to get those 19 points, which is really good to see from somebody like Isaac Okoro in this game. Josh Giddey was solid up until the injury. Didn't hit a three-pointer in this game, so there's that part of it. Trey Jones had 17. He was really aggressive for a point in this game, getting to the free throw line quite a bit did Trey. But again, stopped being kind of aggressive when it mattered the most. But he had 4 assists, 6 rebounds to go along with those 17 points, as well as a steal. But yeah, man, Vooch, I already took 9 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists from Vooch. Our bench was the thing today, big time. 18 points from Jalen Smith, 11 points from Patrick Williams, 15 points from Kevin Huerter, 14 from Ayo Dosunmu. If it wasn't for the bench today, we don't get in this game. I mean, we're just not in this game at any point in time if it wasn't for the way that our bench played throughout the most part of this, man. We got to tighten those things up. If the Bulls can tighten it up, we can win some of these games, man, but, hey, it was bad. Come on, man, play the hot hand. They have, no bench production. Should have been a W. I'm not disagreeing with you on that one. Jalen Smith was 4-4 on threes and 6-6 on field goal percentage with 11 rebounds, dude. Jalen played great today. Great today. He was 6-6 from overall from the field today. You cannot explain to me. Billy Donovan, I can't wait to hear the post-game presser because Billy Donovan got some explaining to do on why Jalen was not in this game. It just doesn't make any sense. Haize, another good Patrick Williams game in the loss column. I mean, listen, it's more than just people that lost this one. How Trey Jones get more minutes than Ayo is fucking insane. Well, he is a starter. And Ayo Dosunmu was on a 24-minute restriction. Keep that in mind. He was on a minutes restriction today. So they stopped him at the minutes restriction. Was that a selfish-ass shot from Okoro? What the fuck was an unraveling of philosophy? Shame on Billy and Okoro losing focus on what got them there in the first place. Okoro was a dumbass. Man, listen, he was trying to be aggressive. I try to give a little bit of credence to that. Billy Donovan jagged this game. Jalen Smith was red hot. Yeah, the refs had moments of fuckery, but no way you don't ride him out until he gets cold. Josh Giddey wasn't himself since he rolled his ankle. Completely agree. Everything you said there, no notes on that one. Completely agree with you. Was up 19 in this game. You're right, Jeremy. Jalen not being in the game at the end, Mitchell getting his groove back were key factors in this game. Modest was off tonight, and this loss was on Billy. Ayo and Jalen need to be out there in the end. Well, keep in mind, Ayo Dosunmu was on a minutes restriction, so that's why I didn't crap on Ayo not being in there late in the game because he was on a minutes restriction. But Jalen Smith wasn't on a minutes restriction. Jalen Smith wasn't, so there was no reason to not have Jalen Smith out there. Modest should go back. No, that's stupid. That's just dumb. Y'all got to stop saying stupid shit. Torres losses. I don't know, Haize. You tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Vooch is not going to be able to keep up with this team as the season goes on. He actively hurt us today. I mean, Vooch was our most consistent player last season. He's going to have bad games, but I won't say that I'm worried about him keeping up for the full season. Shay says, Haize, not only that, we should have had Patrick Williams in a close game out defensive-wise. I mean, you got a Okoro out there. I'm not really, if you have Jalen, I'm not too worried about P. Will not being out there because P. Will did start making some lapses, too, as far as energy-wise. But I can also understand why you say he should be out there for sure. It sucks to lose like this. All guys battle hard, and with Giddey's injury, it was really hard to keep up. The worst of it, the W escaped in the last minute. 12-0 run by them to end that game, man. That's tough. That's tough. Interesting how Modest and Jay was on the bench when we needed them most, and honestly wouldn't be surprised if we sit Giddey for the next game. I wouldn't be surprised if Giddey sits the next game either with a rolled ankle. Now, he did get back out there. He played quite a bit of minutes to finish the game, but we'll see how it swells. We got, a couple of days. We play again on Monday, so we got 1 day off. We'll see. It's something with these matchups with Cleveland, questionable calls, us being up and then melting down in like ice cream cone. I don't know. Well, cones don't melt. The cones themselves don't melt. But, it is what it is. I get what you mean there. Should have closed it out with Trey, Hunter, Okoro, Huerter, Okoro, P. Will, Jalen Smith. Again, can't be mad at that suggestion at all. Jalen Smith needs to be in this game at the end, both on offense and defense. There are several buckets towards the end that he would have contested way better than Vooch too. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And to sit a player that was 6 for 6 from the field for the majority of the fourth quarter in a close game does not make any sense to me at all. It would have been different if Vooch came in and Vooch was really playing with some great rhythm or made some big plays or some stops for the Bulls. He didn't. Vooch actively hurt us out there today. And you rewarded that instead of the player who was giving energy and activity on both sides of the ball. It just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. No field goals in the last 3 minutes really cost the game. We play San Antonio, who's 7-2. A great team with Wemby would have been great to get this one. Yeah, I mean, listen. But, next game you can win that one too. I mean, you can win that one. I wanted the Bulls to go 2-2 in the next 4. We've got our 2 losses. Can we get 2 wins in a row? This is the first time this season the Bulls have back-to-back losses. See what happens. Bench came to play. Sadly, the starters, except for Okoro Jones, did well. Refs hot garbage as of late with these ticky-tack fouls. Thomas Bryant is the bitter baby mama of the NBA. That is crazy. Thank you for your super chat, R.C. Campbell. We appreciate you. Melvin says, Billy Donovan has to understand it's okay to have bench players who are hot to close games instead of struggling starter like Vooch. I blame Zach LaVine when he complained. Well, see, we got to move on from that because Billy's done a good job of that this season. It'd be different if Billy never did that this season. Billy Donovan's been really good at riding the hot hand in these games. Bill Winnington was saying on the radio broadcast that Modest was diving to the rim every time he got the ball, and the other team was playing him for that. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like I said, Modest has no mid-range game. So you're either playing him for the three-point shot or you're playing him for the drive. And therefore, if he's not shooting well, which he didn't hit a 3 today, you're going to play him for the drive and dare him to get hot from three-point line. This is why Modest needs to develop a mid-range shot. Modest has to develop a mid-range shot. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He got to develop a 1-2, and he got to develop a mid-range shot. The Bulls have come down to earth playing the top teams. No, see, first of all, we beat some top teams in the East. It's 2 games. So let's chill on that, right? Let's see what's going to happen coming up against going out to the West Coast. But we'll see. We'll see. Every team's going to go on a losing streak. Haize, did you see one of the Cavs players mocking Giddey ankle injury, no tech? I mean, you can mock injuries. You don't get a tech for mocking. I'm just saying, you don't get a tech for mocking players. Starters played like shit minus Trey, but the bench kept us in it for the most part. For the most part, garbage referee crew, Billy inability to ride the hot hand in the end of game scenarios. Yeah, I mean, listen, and even with Jaylen not being out there, I keep going back to that possession where the Bulls were still technically up by 1, and we just couldn't even get a good shot in that. We had 2 possessions in a row in the fourth quarter where Trey Jones basically, it wasn't just Trey, but Trey basically ended up with the ball until like 4 seconds left, and we had to force up a bad shot. Those type of possessions matter so much in close games like this. And those are the things that you have to, as you're learning to win as a team, you have to learn to manage those better. And the Bulls did not manage those possessions and those opportunities. They didn't manage them well in this game at all. And so then you end up with stuff like this. 6-3 ain't bad. Bulls had a chance to beat one of the tough Bucks in the East. We beat New York, and we could have had this game, but Billy did blunder again today. Yeah, I mean, listen, we could have easily been 7-2 in this game, right? But that could have happened today, but it didn't. And so now the Bulls have their first losing streak of the season. Again, let's see how you bounce back. That's really just what it's about. Let's see how you bounce back. Let's see what you're really made out of. Right, because it's easy to have momentum and feel good about yourself when you're riding a win streak. Now you're not doing that. So let's see what you do next. Modest needs to add the midi. Will open up his game. He has to agree with you, Patch. He has to learn that midi. He has to get that midi together. Have to win this next game, or we are going to be back in those playing convos with these media outlets. So fuck the media. Like, We got to stop worrying about shit that don't matter. I'm telling y'all this right now. The media convos don't fucking matter. I get it that if it's good to hear your team talked about in a positive light and all that shit, but fuck all that. Right? I don't care about what the national media has to say. I don't care about being in good media convos. I don't care about none of that. I care about how this team's playing. Let's not overreact in both these games against top teams who stayed in the games. Yeah, these games were winnable. The Bucks, they got away from us as well, right? But we matched them pretty well in a lot of areas. But this game against the Cavs, man, this was definitely a winnable game down the stretch. We lacked execution. We lacked execution in late game management. We just did not have it. Between Noah getting dunked on in preseason, getting crossed over tonight, I don't know which highlight was more embarrassing. Listen, like the Noah highlight was embarrassing, but people always forget Noah cooked them the rest of that game. Now this Josh Giddey game, and he rolled his ankle of his own volition. If you look at it, he didn't roll his ankle because of the crossover. At least not in my recollection of it. Like he went into the crossover, but Giddey was rolling his ankle because he was going the other direction. Modest has worked with dribble too much. The way the Bulls are losing are definitely good lessons to learn. The mistakes made today are you know what? That is a very, very good point there. What the Bulls did today as far as mistakes are fixable mistakes. Absolutely. They are very fixable. Very fixable and controllable. I just needed the Bears to win tomorrow. Man, listen, that will help me feel better too, Sydney. I love to talk to dumbasses that say there's no place for Coby White on this team right now after watching these last two games. Hate dumbass motherfuckers like that. I mean, these last two games, definitely you could see where Coby White's aggression would have definitely helped this team in the last couple of games. Definitely see that. Does Coby get reevaluated this weekend before we head out west? No. Coby gets evaluated. Well, Coby did say he was eyeing the Utah stretch. So it's not, the end of this upcoming week. Not this week now, but this upcoming week that we're in, yeah. He gets reevaluated at the end of that before we go out west to face off against Utah. I agree with you, Gregory. Last two games show how much we miss Coby White on the floor. Completely agree with you, Gregory. It's sports. Regardless, your team going to get talked about, win or lose, so why does the media matter? Yeah, I mean, I'm at this point, I don't give a shit about the national media. I don't listen to a lot of national media anything. I don't watch ESPN. I don't listen to national media podcasts. Like, it just is what it is. And that's not even just because of how they cover the Bulls. That's just sports in general. Modest is nowhere near star level, but I will say that Kevin was great. Williams was good, very competitive games, not blowout, so on to the next one. Yeah, listen, and somebody was on Twitter the other day. They were like, Haize, you weren't being objective when I said that Modest was a star and you said he wasn't. Nigga, do you see this? Oh, you know what, Dylan? That's a great question. Was this the same ankle that Giddey was out with last season that he rolled out tonight? I don't know. This is exactly why you eventually need a superstar. In those last 2 minutes, we couldn't create anything, man. You're not wrong. Modest needs to train with Dirk. Listen, Dirk ain't teaching nobody that shit. Dirk is sitting somewhere chilling with his black wife. All right, so listen, because I'm already upset with the Bulls' loss. Now you about to get cooked. Because first of all, why your mama breastfed you with whiskey? Like, that's the first thing we ask. Why was your mama's breast milk tainted with so much whiskey that your brain couldn't develop correctly? And first of all, your name is Fentazin. First of all, bro, like, get your life together. Stop trying to come here. The only thing that sucks ass is your daddy. And your daddy was sucking man ass. That's why he didn't raise you, because he was too busy being somebody's sloppy bottom, because he couldn't handle the pressure of being a man of your household. That's why you're in here acting like a little bitch. Don't come in here trying to troll. It was a good game. We lost. But you will get cooked in here. How about that? Worry about why your daddy eat man butt and then kiss you in the mouth. That's what you need to worry about. Okay? This is Chicago Bulls Central. You're not coming in here with that dumbass roasting shit, because can't nobody roast better. Bulls suck ass, 20-point lead. Nigga, you had a 9-month lead in life and still failed, bro. A 9-month lead in life and still failed. Get your life together, my boy. Haize, do you believe the 5-0 winning streak or the 2-game losing streak? I mean, the truth somewhere is in the middle. It's somewhere in the middle. It's always the ones with no profile pic and fake names talking shit. Exactly. Haize, why are you so fucking hilarious, bro? Listen, I ain't got time for this stupid shit. You come here with stupid shit, you going to get met with the same energy. Now look at you, a victim. Why is his profile pic saying I love gay bacon? That's pretty suspect already. Dude said he loved meat in his mouth, just like his daddy. That's crazy. How meat riding your family for the males? Why are the best dick suckers in your family all men? That's crazy, bro. That don't make any sense. Aside from the Vooch blunder at the end of the game, has been playing well this season. If your team comes with a good offer, would you trade him? I mean, here's the thing. The Bulls are still trying to win this season, right? So even if I'm not saying that they would be against trading Vooch, but if you don't have a starting caliber center coming back in that trade, I don't think they do it. Vooch should absolutely still be traded if a good offer comes based on his age alone. Don't get caught up. We still a young center for the future. Yeah, I mean, we need a center for the future. I'm just saying that I can completely see AK with how he runs the team, literally holding on to Vooch because he doesn't have another starting caliber center. This was a very good, close game. If we missed too many free throws and we didn't stick to our offensive game plan. I don't even know if sticking to the offensive game plan was necessarily the biggest problem there either, to be honest with you. Like, to me, it's more about execution. It's not about having the right people out there. It's those type of things. We should trade for someone like Naz Reid. Will you realize that they probably don't want to trade Naz Reid? They just re-signed him. People talking shit about Vooch. Do we not recall that the man? Well, here's the thing, though, Josh. That don't mean that you can't criticize this game, right? Like, I'm not saying that Vooch has sucked the season. Like, he's not. He's been more good than bad this season. But this game, Vooch should have not been in the fourth quarter. He should have not been in the fourth quarter. That's it. Jalen Smith should have been in the fourth quarter. You're right. AK absolutely would hold on to Vooch, and to me, that's where his weakness shows. Short-term success over long-term building for the future in little moves. Here's the thing, though, right? Here's going to be my counterpoint to that. Having success now is also paying off into your long-term future because winning these games, getting to the playoffs, being able to compete in that's good for the development of Josh Giddey. That's good for the development of Buzelis. That's good for the development of Ayo Dosunmu and those. It's good for that development. And I think that the only way that I would say is not good for development if you still can't get a center of the future, right? So it's not either or. It's not that you hold on to Vooch and that means you can't get center of the future. You can technically do both. And so if AK does hold on to Vooch and then finds his center of the future as well, whether it be in the draft, whether it be a young guy, whatever it is, then okay, cool. You've earned keeping Nikola Vucevic on this team if you do that. So, there's a world in which he can do both. I'm not saying that he will. I'm just playing devil's advocate that there is a world in which you can do both. And hopefully he's going to do that. Hopefully that's the only hope that we can have to that one. We're still down 2 players, and our losses were very winnable. Great points there, Carlos. We're already playing above most fans' expectations. As long as the team can learn from these losses, I'm fine with it. I don't disagree with you. Don't disagree with you at all there. Modest needs a couple of teaspoons of cement before bed. That's first of all, that's wild. He can't just do some push-ups. He got to take a couple of teaspoons of cement. Can't the brother just do push-ups and get tough regularly? Freaking refs taking back those 2 points away from us when the shot clock should have been reset. The ball hit the rim. They should have helped build our momentum if they weren't so stupid. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong there either. That's why I did say there's definitely some things that the refs did in this one as well. I'm more so saying based on what the guy said when he said if we are a good offer. I'm not saying just trade him to trade him, but AK cannot pass up a good offer. Well, here's the thing, though. What is a good offer? Like, I don't think anybody's offering a first-round pick for Nikola Vucevic. We don't need the expiring money. He's already expiring. Like, I mean, if a team calls and they're willing to offer an unprotected first-round pick for Vooch, yeah, with his age, I think you have to take that. But I guess my brain goes to realism. Like, the best I see is getting offered for Nikola Vucevic is an expiring contract and maybe a couple of second-round picks. Or maybe like a top 20 protected first-round pick, something like that, right? Because you think that if a team wants Vooch, that probably means that they're a winning team, and they want him to help on the playoff run. So that means that first-round pick is going to be sub-20s, more than likely. Now, this is a deep draft, and maybe you look at players that are in the sub-20s in this draft as future starters. I'm not saying I haven't really started all of my draft analysis yet, so maybe that's what you're looking at. Miles just needs a protein shake, and he'll be all right. I mean, he put on a lot. He put on a lot of weight this summer for where his frame was and stuff. He just got to keep it going. Just got to keep it going. We just need Coby. He's our crunch time shooter. Yeah, but let's be clear. Coby has some times in crunch where he's also thrown off a little bit, right? Now, I do think he's going to help regardless more than what we've been. And some of these times where, like, Trey's passing up shots and stuff, Coby's definitely going to be one to take those. So, that's a good thing to look at. Like, us getting Coby back is going to do nothing but help this team. And I can't wait for him to come back because people who, like, been trying to make it seem like Coby's going to come back and hurt us, I can't wait for him to shut those people up. The Bulls are actually impressive how they're keeping up with these playoff teams. People forget they won 64 games last season. There you go. But they weren't 100% either. No Darius Garland in this game either, right? So look at that. Vooch went from All-NBA to bum after one game. Hello, everybody, relax. Yeah. Like, it's just one game. Like, that's why I say I'm not changing my performance on Vooch this season. He's been way more good than bad this season by far. This was a bad game for Nikola Vucevic, and he's going to have to hopefully be better, especially with the next game coming up against the Spurs. I think Jalen Smith should have gotten back in. Yeah, we talked about that earlier, Gregory. He definitely should have been back in the game. What's three things to take away from this game? Ride the hot hand. Late game execution is important. And I say this, the Bulls, until Coby White comes back, teams are going to go to zone defense a lot in fourth quarters in close game if the game's close against the Chicago Bulls. If you can get the momentum away from the Bulls in the fourth quarter and go into that zone defense, you're going to cause fits for the Chicago Bulls. They got to tighten that part up. They got to tighten that up. Billy said the medical staff tested Josh Giddey. He was cleared to go back to go. And do you think it was the right call? I mean, listen, Giddey has been the engine of this team. So you're going to want to try to get him back in there. Now, I do think this. Once you saw that he was actively hurting us out there, you probably should have made a different decision at that point in time. I have a bad feeling about the Spurs game. I mean, I can understand you having a bad feeling about the Spurs game. Listen, the way that this team is still competitive, man, I'm not worried about anything. Like, I'm not saying that doesn't mean we're going to win or lose. I'm just saying I'm not worried. Go out there, play a game, compete, and wherever it shakes out is where it shakes out, man. I would say this, though. The Bulls better take this loss, this loose. First of all, this loose booty, that's crazy. A little personal. The team was making fun of Giddey. The stadium was mocking us. Take that to heart and do better. Exactly. Go out there and do better. How are people unhappy with 6-3? I'm just happy we're over 500. Hey, I feel that. But listen, the thing is, if you settle on just the record, you can lose some of the context, right? Because the Bulls could have easily been 7-2 tonight with better execution. Hey, Trey Jones did a hell of a job getting to that foul line tonight. That was a big part of us staying in contention. Yeah, but then we went away from it. And we couldn't get into the paint in the last, 4 minutes of this game. I understand that Josh had to be in the game late, but you have to combine that, putting Smith in and take the pressure off him offensively. Listen, no notes on that one. I'm not going to disagree with you at all on that one. But listen, this is still a young team. If somebody would have told you that they'd be 6-3 coming into this, most people would take that. Now, I will say this, the way that they've lost the last two games, you really got to look at yourself and ask, what are you doing and what can you do better? But the Bulls have 3 games coming up next week, Monday, Wednesday, Sunday. San Antonio, Detroit, Utah. Let's go out there and try to get all three of those. Let's try to get all three of those games. Because then after that is Denver, Portland, OKC, I think. Let's see. Denver, Portland, Miami, Washington, New Orleans. The Washington and New Orleans are very winnable games. Charlotte, right? So that's an easy stretch. But then after that, after November 29th, we got Indy, Orlando, Brooklyn, Indiana. Those are winnable games too. Hey, listen, things are looking up, man. It's looking up. But all right, y'all, I'm going to get ready to wrap this up, man. Make sure you guys are following us at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. bullscentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, but that is thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See red if you can, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.